Last one of these for today, and then I can go and sober up. Skyfall, and this is a really good one. So, James Bond is on a mission, and he has to go and get this computer drive from another agent, but the agent gets away, and James Bond gets shot because there's the other agent, Eve, who turns out to be Moneypenny, is as a sniper rifle, and M's like, take the shot, and then James Bond gets shot, because whoops, and then he just goes and just like chills out for a bit, because I'd probably do that if my boss got me shot too. He's just, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. But then ages later, the bad guy who stole the computer drive, because it had a list of like undercover agents, and he goes and steals that and puts it on the internet, just leaking all your shit. And then M's like, and he blew up our old base as well, so now you have to go and move into the one from the old Bond movies, like a cute callback. So M's like, oh shit, we're fucked. But then James Bond comes back, and he goes off to get the guy. And then he goes to Macau and fights the guy in a Komodo dragon pit, and that's really cool. And he meets this lady called Severin, who's like a former sex slave, and they have a sex scene in the shower, and a lot of people thought that was really icky. I remember when this movie came out, I didn't realise why there was such a controversy around that scene, and it was because I didn't remember that scene, because I went to the toilet during that scene, so I had no idea that this had happened in that movie. But then he goes and meets the bad guy, who's played by Javier Bardem, and he's an ex-MI6 guy who is out to get M. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do computer stuff. And like James Bond, like, haha, no, you're not surprised. I'm going to arrest your ass. And then they do. And they go back to London and they put him in like a glass prison cell where he's stuck, because this was like the 2010s, and they loved doing this shit in movies. But then the guy gets out and he goes and shoots a bunch of people. And I'm like, when did that computer drive suddenly stop being important? Because you put I know it's like just a thing to get the plot going, but you put a lot of emphasis on that, and then it just kind of disappears from the plot. So then James Bond and M go and get James Bond's Aston Martin, and they get the guy to follow them to Scotland with the help of young sexy Q. And then they have a big like standoff in the house, and it's actually pretty badass. A lot of people take the piss out of this and say it's like Home Alone. It's really not. It's actually pretty badass, to be honest. But then there's a fight, but they kill the bad guy, but then M dies, so then Ray Fiennes is now the new M, and he's got his office just like in the old Bond movies, and now it's like it's all James Bond again, and it's come full circle, but it's also new James Bond. And yeah, he's going to carry on doing James Bond stuff.